Hey, my kiss is different. Hello. Hi. Can I spin all the way around? Is this going to let me? Oh, it's going to bump. Yep, it bumped. It bumped the desk, but I tried, y'all. You can't say I didn't try. Trying to decide, is this the tea I want to have today? I think it is. I think I will have it. Welcome. If you've never been to my channel before, I am Saycon Sengbloh, and you are watching SayconTalks. Here, I like to have tea. I like to chit chat. Sometimes it involves the entertainment industry, health, wellness, whatever. Topics of the day. And usually I will drink some tea. I am not sponsored by this company. This is just what I'm drinking today. Tea Havana. Youth berry. Will it help me? Will it keep me young? Youthful and berry-like and delicious. I am, by trade, I'm an actress, a speaker, a voiceover artist. I hope you can hear me clearly. Check 1, check 2. There's the microphone there. And today I want to talk about a movie that came on Netflix. Well, it's like a series that came on Netflix. And I've been saying I was going to talk about it for a few weeks. And so finally, I'm going to talk about it a little bit today. And then I'm going to go fry some plantain. I actually already sliced them up. Mouth watering. They're already waiting for me. I almost contemplated bringing the computer into the kitchen so I can make the plantain during this talk. I cut them up. I did all the dangerous stuff first. But I decided not to. I said, let me just wait. I don't know. Probably if you go over after this, if you go over to Instagram, either Saycon Sengbloh or SayconTalks on Instagram, you'll probably see me doing plantain after this talk today. But for now, I'm just gonna have tea. Oh, I haven't had this tea in a while. It's got a really sweet, fresh smell, and it's got these beautiful silky satchels. Look at that. Wow. It's spinning. Let me go into my chat and see who's here with me today. My peoples, my Africa, my peoples. Darth Cloud 7 in the house. Thank you kindly for spending the evening with me. Are you sipping on something, Darth Cloud 7? Bang. Oh, we got to take that paper out. We don't want the paper to get wet. Okay, we're going to do that again. Bang. I got a little hot water. I got the hot water waiting already. I had to let this water cool off. The paper went in there anyway. I'll fish it out. I had to let this water cool out. I literally just boiled it before I went live. Yeah. I wanted to talk about the movie Self-Made. It was a beautifully made movie. Very well-made movie. And a very controversial movie, as most historical films are. So I'm gonna let this steep a little bit. It smells so good. Always got to tell y'all that. I got to let y'all know how it smells, right? Anyway, does anybody out there actually see this movie? I'm calling it a movie, but it's really a series. It lasted, I believe, several episodes on Netflix. Very enjoyable series. Always keeping up with my wellness. I'm going to do a little bit of avocado. Did I just say avocado? Oregano oil. I'm hungry, y'all. I was trying to decide what kind of oil I was going to use for my plantain. And so I did. I put, I got it all prepped, honey. I did the pan with grapeseed oil. As it does matter what kind of oil you use. Those vegetable oils. That song. Oh my God, that song is so nice. A friend of mine sent it to me. And it's called Different Case by Mike Abdul, if you're wondering. I didn't play too much. I ain't trying to burn up my my world with all this music that, you know. Anyway, I watched the movie, yeah, smooth the hair down a little bit. I watched the movie a couple of weeks ago, actually. So I'm fairly late as far as giving my own type of review or talk about it. Fairly late, but as always, my bedazzled coconut oil. But hey, it's never too late. It's never too late to talk about something, especially something if you enjoyed it. So for those of you who don't know or who have never heard of Madam C.J. Walker, Madam C.J. Walker was born by the name of Sarah Breedlove. And taking a look online here, Wikipedia says that she was an American entrepreneur, a philanthropist. She was also a political and social activist, and she is recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. Okay, God bless her. She was a world record making self-made millionaire. And in these times where everything that everybody does is about, people want to be the first to do something, that is quite a feat. I always heard of Madam C.J. Walker incorrectly. She was always known as, when I was growing up, I heard that she was the woman who invented the straightening comb. But I find that is not true. But her techniques in scalp care, scalp health, cleanliness, and whatnot were remarkable, and that she was able to help people who were dealing with hair problems, scalp problems, to grow their hair back and to have their hair back in really good condition. And so Sarah Breedlove, aka Madam C.J. Walker, was a real figure. She was a real live person. She was born in December 23rd, 1867, and died May 25th, 1919. She's a real live person. But they made a movie about her life, and it was, I wondered when I first heard that they were going to be making this movie, I wondered if it was going to be like a movie in the theaters. I'm an actress diva, so I stand a good feature film. I love to go to the movies and see a bunch of beautiful people on screen, the big screen, the lights, the camera, the action. I love all of that stuff. And so I was thinking that this movie would be on the big screen. Lucky for me, during this time of us having to stay home, the movie was it was on Netflix. Fellow Netflix girl here, one of the shows that I'm on, called In the Dark, is also currently on Netflix. I'm trying to wipe my hands good. Like, I'm doing it on the sly, y'all. But I guess I got a little overzealous with my coconut oil. And I'm not trying to drop this cup. I think I should put a little honey. Should I put a little honey? Honey? Should I put a little honey? Who likes honey? If you like honey, put it in the comments. If you like honey, I need you to put a honey emoji in the comments. Let me go over to these comments. See, Dark Cloud says it was a great story and a great movie. And Colston Chinese is in the house. Hello, humble servant in the house. Colston says, I'm going to check out your film. Yes, so In the Dark, also a Netflix program, just like Self-Made. In the Dark is a television series. It's not a movie. It's a television series. And it is, quick, shameless plug. It's a television series in which I play a cop on Netflix. It's a CW show produced for the CW. And it went to Netflix after the first season, which once the first season was wrapped, it aired on Netflix. People liked it. People enjoyed it. I'm doing Goya honey. Isn't that little container so cute? I just love containers, you guys. I love nice containers. I love nice things. Anyway, I play a cop on that show, and that show is really interesting. It's about the life of a young woman who lives her life as she pleases, sleeps with who she wants, goes where she wants, deals with a bit of depression, likes to drink, likes to do her thing, and she also happens to be blind. And this girl is she's getting into some stuff. And so anyway, I don't play her. I play a cop on the show. And yeah, go over to Netflix and check out my show. It's called In the Dark. Yeah. But right now you're watching Saycon Talks. So Madam C.J. Walker, that was her married name. That was the name of her second husband. I believe her second husband. I am going off of the film. Let me say this. Let me preface this by saying that this film and many films like it is based on historical facts. It is not a documentary. And even movies that are based on historical facts, I would say all movies, even documentaries, there's always some type of conflated things, actions, and things that come through when you're talking about historical figures. A lot of people get upset by this. I personally, it doesn't throw me off too much. Honestly, there is no way in the world that you could take, say a person lived for 50 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 104 years, like my great grandmother. Shout out to my great grandma. There's no way that you can put all of that life and squeeze it into a 2-hour film. There's no way you can squeeze all of that life into a 4-part miniseries, or even to squeeze all of that life into a 5-year drama, even. Like, you cannot. Everything is going to have those, there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of ways of making the story go along and moving the story along, keeping the dramatic action going. And, there's a way that, especially here in the United States, the way that films are made, there is a style of filmmaking that people are accustomed to that keeps their attention, that makes them listen. And I think that Casey Lemons, who was the director of the film, she decided to take her own vibe. And she basically, throughout this film, you're seeing the life of Madam C.J. Walker. It's not quite a cradle to grave type of thing. It's an early midlife to grave type thing, but you're seeing her and you're seeing her building her business, her building her company. And then in the midst of that, you're seeing her relationships with people. I'm going to take a sip, you guys. Let me take this tea bag out. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Take this tea bag out. Yes, Colston in the comments, in the live chat comments, Colston Chinese says inspired by. Exactly. So it's inspired by true life events. Self-made. Even the term self-made, I would say hashtag self-made. That's the title that I put in this, the name of this live stream. We can argue all day about that title. Recently, I think last year or about a year and a half ago, on the cover of the Forbes magazine was one of the Kardashian Jenner sisters, baby sister, I believe. Kylie Jenner was on the cover. And I believe that cover said self-made millionaire. I think it called her the youngest self-made millionaire. And whoo, boy, was that controversial. A lot of people were like, they were like, she's not self-made. She came from a rich family. Her father and mother had money. They're on a TV show. Yes, it says it's official. Kylie Jenner. Oh, excuse me, not millionaire, billionaire. It says Kylie Jenner is a billionaire. At just 21 years old, the makeup mogul has become the youngest self-made billionaire in history. So I guess Kylie Jenner and Madam C.J. Walker both have their places in the Guinness Book of World Records. Too bad the Guinness, they have the Guinness Book of World Records place down there. You can go down there and tour around. They have like scary stuff. Too bad we can't go down there and tour it and see if we can see a poster of either of these ladies. But when we get into, people love titles, you know, titles and names and saying you're the first and saying you're the, you guys, I just ordered some new spoons online. They're going to be so pretty when I get them. Let me not squeal because this is not, I have to calm down because this is not like, okay, it's not like the girly channel. This is just the talk to the people channel. So I got to calm down. But based off of, you know, there's history, there's conflated stories, there's conjecture, there's all sorts of things. There's inspired by, and that's what happened with this story. So when we get into the facts, you know, the thing that was most enthralling to me in general about Madam C.J. Walker is the fact that we're talking about her to this day. So the way that the story started off, you have Sarah Breedlove, and she is a washerwoman. She's now, mild spoiler alert, I'm not gonna like fully tell the whole thing, but I'll just give a few little key points that made it key points that stuck out in my head that are sort of remarkable things. But so she, in this story, in this inspired by story, self-made, she's a washerwoman. She is you know, she does laundry for a living. She's taking in people's laundry for very small coins, doing the wash and fold type of thing and dropping it off. And you know, due to her lifestyle, she's not taking the best care of herself. She's having a lot of stress, which is something that still happens to this day. A lot of men and women deal with alopecia, scalp funguses, all sorts of things. So she's dealing with some issue. I can't remember if they ever actually named what the issue was, but due to whatever issue, her hair started to fall out. And so the marriage that she was in, her husband, I guess, you know, was hard. Men are very visual creatures. They like a woman with a nice hairstyle, a nice hairdo. And so, yeah, it became problematic. Her first husband, she ended that relationship. And Colston says her phone, oh, your phone is dying. Charge up, Colston, and come back. Charge up and come back. I hope we're still here when you come back. How your phone gonna die? You was waiting for this episode, Colston. Anyway, she was dealing with depression. And so one of the people who was her clients, one of the people who she was washing clothes for, it was a fictional character. I believe her name was Addie Monroe or something like that. Let me go. I thought I pulled up. Yeah, I got the IMDb. I pulled it up already, y'all, so I don't have to type nothing. Okay. Addie, played by Carmen Ejogo, who's one of my favorite actresses. One of the women that she worked for, Addie, happened to be a woman who was selling her own special hair potion. So she had this hair potion. She noticed that Sarah was going through the anxiety and that her hair was falling out. And so she helped her. She helped her to get her hair back together with the conditioning and this and the that, and just taking time, you know. And I thought that was really, initially, you know, it seemed like a beautiful thing. You know, she's doing this work for this woman, and then this woman is sort of exchanging, hey, you do my laundry, I'll do your hair. And so, of course, she was able to help nurse her scalp and her hair back to good health. And so good. She was able to get into a new relationship. Again, everything fast forward. She gets remarried, and she is so inspired by this good hairdressing and this wonderful fortune that she's like, you know, and she's also a very thoughtful woman. You can tell. I really enjoyed the casting. First of all, let me bow down to our star, the one and only Octavia Spencer. The one and only Octavia Spencer. She did a wonderful job in this movie, and she brought across a very gentle intelligence and flair to the role. And it's wonderful because, you know, Octavia Spencer, she has that thing where she can play that everyday woman. And that's one of the whole points about the story of Madam C.J. Walker, is that she was an everyday woman, you know, like myself, like some of you that are watching. She was an everyday woman, and she was able to make a fortune and grow, and we're still talking about her to this day. So she was so inspired, not only by just feeling amazing, like, hey, boom, look at me, my hair is coming in, I'm feeling good, I got a new man, life is good. She wanted to try to sell the product, and Addie was against it. She told her she wanted to try to sell it. She was interested in, trying her hand at it, and Addie was not here for it. Now, this is where, the first bit of controversy came, in that they brought into the film that age-old story and that age-old argument between dark and light, between, house and field. She was told that because of her look, because she did not have the lighter skinned, longer, wavy hair look, that she was not someone that Addie would feel would be appropriate to represent her product. It broke her heart. And because you got to take chances, you got to take what you need out of life, she decided to steal some of the product, try to go sell it herself. And when she went to go pitch that product, she stood in the marketplace, she did her talk, she did her chat, and the people started gathering around. The thing is this, she felt as though because of how she looked, because she was not some great, fancy, amazing beauty, and because, not even talking about beauty, but just literally her based off of Addie's feelings about what is considered beauty, she felt like, hey, I can really sell your product. Look at me. I am a Black woman. I guess, I don't know if she's using the word phenotype, but I am phenotypically Black, and look at how wonderful my hair has been growing. Your product really works. I think I'm a great representative of the product. And again, Addie was like, no. So she went to go sell it, and she ended up being really, really successful. I really enjoyed seeing that part of the movie. The series. Look, y'all, I might call it a movie, I might call it a series. It's a mini series. It's a 4-part movie. It felt like a movie, y'all. It didn't feel like a TV show. It felt like a movie. But I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that she took a chance. I don't advise anybody stealing products from people, but I enjoyed that she took a chance, and she got a chance to see that vibe. And so this begins this lifelong battle, okay, between these two women. And I believe that the Addie character, there are some who say the Addie character was based on, they called her Addie Monroe. They say that she was based on a woman, a real life woman named Annie Turnbow. So Annie Turnbow Malone was also a beauty pioneer, and she may have been the first. She may have been technically the first woman of color to do really well with products. You got to think, in these days, people were doing their own everything. They were doing their own hair, doing their own, making their own soap, making their own candles. People did a lot. You had to in those days. You had to, God bless, you had to embalm your own family. Like when there were funerals and stuff, people were like preparing bodies. People did a lot of stuff that we all outsource in these days. People made their own clothing, during this vintage, I'm calling it vintage. It's like my favorite word in the world. During this time, people, you had to make your own way. And so this other woman, she made her own way. And they say there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. And so Madam C.J. Walker was inspired, and she ended up making her own hair ointment. She said, hey, if you can't join them, beat them. So she made her own hair ointment. She started making her own products. She started selling them. Her husband happened to work in advertising. Okay. You guys ever seen the book? You ever heard of the book Outliers? I love this book. It's called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And Outliers is basically his sort of a explanation of the story of success. So Outliers, it's a nonfiction book written by Malcolm Gladwell. He talks about how factors contribute to high levels of success. And that includes timing, location, people, individuals, who's involved in your life, what makes things happen. And so the fact that we cannot escape the fact that not escape, that's not the right word. We can't ignore the fact that Mr. CJ Walker was in advertising. He worked in advertising, and what better combination than to have someone who's doing the hairdressing and then someone who's also doing this advertising. Let me go into the chat and see what you're saying. You said the scene was hard to watch with her first husband. Bartering systems. Yes, that's what I was saying. People, they bartered in order to trade. And eventually this is the thing that happens. You get into a situation with people and things change. People grow, people move on, people grow. My plants are repotted. They grow, they burst at the seams and they grow. And so Madam CJ Walker grew. Her business began to grow. Her daughter was helping her with her business. Her son-in-law was trying to help her with her business. Her according to the movie, you guys, her father-in-law was helping with the business. Her husband was helping with the business. And there she was, this, in the new words of today, she was like a total boss babe. And she was running this business. The thing that was difficult is that, the movie was definitely set up to show Madam CJ Walker in a wonderful light. But it also showed, this cattiness between women, the issues that happen between people who are dealing with issues of self-esteem, especially in regards to being darker complected or having a kinkier hair texture and phenotype. There were arguments between she and her husband about what type of woman to put on the box. He wanted, in advertisement, he wanted to put a sort of homogenized, brown skinned sort of mixed race version of the Gibson girl of the day. He wanted to present what he thought was commercially the most viable way to sell the product. And one of the things that they emphasized in this movie Self-Made is that Madam CJ Walker always felt that because she was not the typical supermodel, super skinny, whatever, she was the best person to represent the product. And I just seen one of my favorite YouTubers I was watching, and she said, you can always represent your own product. People, when they make their own businesses, you have to weigh the options about how you put yourself out there. And this story was a great example of that. Branding is really huge, branding in not just in movies or in advertisement or in commercials, but branding in life. How you present yourself, how people see you, how how people come to know you is it's a thing. Like, whether you like it or not, you may be known for something. You may be known for a particular quality or a way of being. Whether you like it or not, you may be known for something. And are you known for what you want to be known for? Madam CJ Walker, maybe her relationships weren't perfect with her husband or her children, her grandchildren, whatever. But she made her mark in that. The branding of it all right now, when that one little log line that describes who she was as a person is millionaire. Okay. So that part was really, really inspiring to me. Colson says she did a great job, especially her vulnerability. Yeah, I thought that Octavia Spencer did a wonderful job. I really also think that Carmine Ejogo did a wonderful job. I've seen Carmine Ejogo. She's the one who plays Addie. Years ago. I mean, Carmen has been in a lot of movies as well as Octavia. Octavia, I believe, did she win the Oscar? Did Octavia win the Oscar, y'all? Or did she get nominated for the Oscar? I don't even want to look it up right now. I'm just going to wait and see if somebody says it. But Octavia has had some really wonderful acknowledgments in her career. I think I'll put this on. Y'all, this is Oski Woski. This is that white amber. What y'all know about that white amber? I love going to get my oils. That's nice. I'll put a little. Y'all want to know what it smells like? It smells fresh. Yeah, it's my white amber. Yeah, Carmine Jogo did a wonderful job. She was in she played Martin Luther King's wife, Coretta Scott King, twice, I believe. And she also she was in Sparkle, and of course, Octavia Spencer has been Octavia Spencer. Gosh, let me click just to name a few of her amazing movies. Oh, she got movies coming up, y'all. But she was in a lot of voiceovers. Blackish. She was on Blackish. She was in Hidden Figures. Didn't we love Hidden Figures? Again, another real life movie that was fictionalized in some ways in order to bring the story to life. I'll say this. A lot of people found this movie controversial because of how the men were presented in the story. And we live in an age right now where it's during the time of the Me Too movement. We saw her going through things as she was trying to build her business. We saw her dealing with the sexism of the time. We saw her trying to get her word out, trying to be seen at conventions and, get her stuff in the paper and, trying to get investors and there was a built-in sexism that existed and still exists to a certain degree during the times, and they presented that struggle. But they also, I did hear that there were a lot of men Black men in particular, who felt as though Black men were not well represented in the film. The son-in-law was quite conniving. The husband, I thought, Blair Underwood, did a wonderful job. They presented him as a strong man, but also a man who was dealing with, being overshadowed in some ways by his wife, not receiving the attention that he felt like he would need or deserve. And I looked at it with a different set of eyes. I will say this. I think it was also giving a great example to women of what it looks like. You say you want success. You say you want to build a business. You say you want to do this, and that. But what does that success really look like? There's that phrase they'll say, you can't have it all, right? And as a woman in the entertainment industry, I am a witness to the fact that literally the lifestyle that it takes to be a performer or to run your own business, it's a very specific thing, and it takes a very discerning spirit. And it also takes, now, by no means do I compare myself on the grand scale of Madam CJ Walker, but even just to have a YouTube channel, to have a podcast. I have a podcast, you guys, totally separate from this YouTube channel. I record podcasts. I record them and edit them and put them out, and, just managing that, talking to the editor and talking, I have the editor that does some of my YouTube vlogs and, dealing with the photographer and social media and all that stuff. Like running those things, it takes time and energy. And I do believe that as a woman, the supreme multitaskers of the world, I think that we have to bide carefully in how we manage our relationships and our friendships. I do believe that the feminist movement was absolutely necessary so that women could have the right to be a millionaire, have the right to have their own business, to own land, to vote, everything. But a lot of that gets mixed up when there is also the layer of racism and sexism. These battles, sort of the fight between these two situations sort of happens, in a sort of, gosh, in many ways, these issues are meshed, and in other ways they go against each other as well. I think that I saw something pop up. I saw that also. It's hard to have it all. Yeah, it's hard to have it all. I think I mentioned this. I had a shout out to anybody who's come over from Bruno, and I got a few of his followers came on over to my channel and subscribed. But I remember I talked about my opinion about letting him go first, sort of thing. I said, let the man go first, let him talk first. And it was a little controversial. I think there's some women who are like, what do you mean let him go first? I have a right. I have a right to do what I want, right? We all got all kinds of rights, right? But that don't mean it's right for your relationship, you know? I think when a woman or a man, for that matter, when a person with another person decides that they want to be like, I'm going to do what I want and you better accept it. I think you got to go. You have to understand what comes along with that. There's a lot of, there's issues that come along with that. When you decide that they better accept you, they better take your this and take your that and take your schedule and take your this, that, like really, like, for example, I was talking to a friend a few days ago. You guys, I know I'm talking about self-made, but I got to parlay it into how it relates to life, right? So I was talking to a friend. She was telling me about her ultimate crush, who happens to be a celebrity. I'm not going to name the celebrity, but my friend was talking about her ultimate crush. And I said, based off of your lifestyle and his lifestyle, how would that work? How would that work? Now, don't mark me as a hater. Mark me as a realist. I said, you working over here in this industry. He's working over here in this industry. When do you guys have time to be together? How can you be sure that he is not going to get his sucked when he's in Antarctica? Of course, it takes a good, strong person who does not feel like they have to go get their sucked every time they go somewhere, right? Okay, right, there's that. But literally thinking about the actual functionality of interacting with someone, literally, like, basically, if you're dating someone, let's not even talk about celebrities and crazy wild industries. If you are two doctors and one works the night shift and one works the day shift, when are you going to get together? Sometimes, it takes somebody to be willing to be like the yin and somebody to be willing to be the yang. Did anybody read Michelle Obama's book? Michelle Obama talked about that. She and Barack, they're both lawyers. But I mean, was it going to be all this lawyering happening in the house with the children and the lawyering and the political campaigns? And somebody got to make a choice, right? So sometimes somebody has to fall back. And it can be difficult if the man is the person who needs to fall back. That can be difficult because I believe that just even how our hormones are drawn, the average man is not drawn to fall back. The average man wants to work in some type of way, support his family, and wants to be admired and respected. We will never know what was really happening in their relationship. Again, this is all just based on the movie. But there were issues. Eventually, the husband cheated. He cheated with a woman who had a different look, the whole light skin thing. And so they brought that up quite a lot. And then, let me get in the comments before I go into another. Saw that also, it's hard to have it all. Johnny Walker. Hey, Johnny. Thanks for coming through, Johnny. Even Addie Monroe, there's a thing about stereotypes. I think perhaps it is a stereotype that men are supposed to bring home the bacon, and a stereotype that women are supposed to fry it up. And I talked about bringing home the bacon and frying it up in my last live. I went live, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Just because I wanted to. But even Addie Monroe, she would, based off stereotype of what she should or shouldn't do, she was expected to be some amazing success just because she was lighter skinned. And there was a scene where she called her grandmother just to get some support, to get some love. She was out there, they were alluding to her having some issues. She had been beat or something, they were alluding to her issues as well. But, and her grandmother said, "Oh, baby, you can do it. You light skin, just use that good light skin and make yourself some money. You'll make it." The grandmother wanted some money, and she's like, can you imagine if your whole existence has just been bottled on down to, what you look like? I know for sure in general with women, how we look is a big part of our, what's that word? A woman's beauty. A woman is judged by her beauty. A woman is, considered, her worthiness, her value, in many circles can be considered based on beauty. And some people hate it. Some people love it. Some people use it. Some people don't. Some women have it. Some people don't. Some women don't, as far as beauty or whatever. But to certainly think that everything comes easy to a woman based off of being beautiful is definitely not true. I live, Adam Barney. Hey, Adam Barney. Tea and crumpets, darling. Yes, Adam. What are you sipping on? For those latecomers, I am sipping on Tiavana Youthberry, and I'm not sponsored by them. It's just what I chose to sip on for today. It's got a really nice package, and it smells really good. If anybody wants to, I said it was a nice package, and I'm fighting to take it off anybody. If anybody wants to try it out, it smells so good. It smells like candy. It smells like sweet and sour and all that. Yeah. I'm supposed to only brew it for 2 minutes. I think I brewed it for 10 minutes. It's got a kind of a reddish look. Can you see that? But yes, tea and crumpets, darling. Oh, you're having a smoothie. I actually have a smoothie. I have a beet and ginger smoothie in there waiting on me. Let me tell y'all, waiting on me in that kitchen is a beet and ginger smoothie and some plantains that I sliced up that I am going to fry up, or I would say saute, Okay, so let's go. In the comments, Dark Cloud says, teamwork, play your position. The opponent is the enemy, not your teammate. Exactly. And I think this is one of the issues that happens a lot in relationships in this modern 2020. Can you guys believe it's 2020? It is 2020 and we all got to stay in the house. Oh, it's raining. I love rain. Y'all, I'm going to fry that plantain and listen to the rain and eat it after I get off of here. But yeah, Darth Cloud, I believe you're married, so you know the deal. It's all about teamwork and playing your position. I must say, out in these single streets as I am, that's been one of the most difficult things is I am a person who is absolutely a team player. I'm willing to play my part. Let's balance things out. I don't mind falling back where I need to. I don't mind a man falling back. We all have to take, we do what we got to do. But one of the most fascinating things about being in the entertainment industry is how time is used. You're not working the regular 9 to 5. So you might go a full 2-3 months with no job at all. And you got all this time in the world to hang out. And then suddenly you get a job. And now for 3 weeks straight, you're working from noon to midnight, so Madam CJ Walker building her business, doing her thing, dealing with products, having manufacturing. I'm assuming this was something that happened in real life, but if there was a fire, the factory burned down. They moved from different city to city. She felt like her daughter wasn't doing what she wanted her to do because, that's how moms and dads can be. You want your children to do this and do that. She wanted her daughter to give her an heir. And then she started dealing with the health problems. Y'all. The health problems, y'all. That was a thing that a lot of people, everybody talked about the racism and the sexism and how were the men treated and they talked about the fact that the daughter was presented as a lesbian. Everybody said, people talked about sexuality and marriage and relationships. But one of the things that really struck me was the health problems. And that really stuck out to me because we get caught up in our lives of building and working, and you're trying to make this dream happen. You're trying to take everything to the next level. You're going to next level, right? You're trying to make it happen. And in between that, you're like, oh, it's okay. I can just have some of this fried this and some of this whatever, this Big Macs and greasy sandwiches and this and that and the other. And boy, oh boy, did that end up being her downfall, dealing with her health. And I will presume that it was due to her diet, her stress levels. Diet and stress levels are quite a thing. I do believe that we have parts to play, but roles to play as men and as women. But I do also believe that there is something to be said about being born to do something. When there's like a thing on you, there's a thing on you that says, I got to do this. Like me, every day, not every day, a lot of days I get online and I make tea and I show my tea, right? I show my tea. I don't know why I have this urge to be like, I'm doing eucalyptus oil today. I don't know why I have an urge to share that. I could certainly be twerking on the gram. Certainly. I have the assets, darling. I'm a little older for that, but I could be doing all sorts of things. But spirit tells me to share what I'm drinking, share what herbs I'm pouring hot water over. I could be boring as hell, but I don't know. It's something on me that tells me to do it. So I think that there was a spirit, there was something on her that made her say, boom, I'm about to make this business. I'm going to make it happen. And it gave her this drive to go and go and go and make it happen. And boy, oh boy, did she change lives as she was doing it. So hate it or love it, whether you thought the film, displayed Black love in the right way or not, whatever you thought, she provided jobs. We got to see her thinking about marketing and how, and the other thing that was really key that I really learned from the film, or not necessarily something that I learned, but something that I love seeing be displayed, because I need to see things displayed, was how networking, and let me be real careful with this, networking, not in the sense of, do you know me? Do I know you? Let me give you my card, blah, 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 but just how relationships and connecting really helps you to build your business, that your business cannot just be built based on, how fly you are and how fly your product is, and all these different places that you have to go. This is why I always urge people to get out of their comfort zone. You got to go to new places. If you're trying to do new things, you got to go to new places. You got to shake it up, right? So like when they went on their trip to Harlem, I believe, I want to say W.E.B. Du Bois. We always say Du Bois, but I believe it's Du Bois. He was at one of the fine restaurants they were eating at, and he knew who she was, and like just being in the mix, getting yourself out there. I have to focus on that purposefully for myself, and give it a thumbs up if you believe in focusing on building your life and intermixing with people and talking to new people and breaking old habits. But please give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying when I say this. But me being naturally a homebody, I like to pat around in my house and sit around on my couch and be on the internet and watch YouTube and read about ginger root. I even know that it's something that I have to do. I have to actively put myself in places where I might feel uncomfortable and do things that might make me uncomfortable in order to advance my life and improve my life. Thank you, Adam Barney, for the thumbs up in the live chat. Anybody who's on their phone and watching this, you may have to close the live chat. Go and give a thumbs up to the video. I'm talking about thumbs up that video. It'll teach YouTube to share my video and show my materials, because I'm trying to help myself out, you guys. I'm trying to help out this project that I'm doing called SayconTalks, so I can get the word out. I eventually, once all this quarantine is done, I want to do my pop-up events. I come, I talk, we have tea, we sing, somebody selling jewelry, somebody making smoothies. I mean, I want to do this. I want to like do these talks, these events, you know what I'm saying? My vintage pop. So I want to do all of those things. So I was super inspired seeing the Madam CJ Walker story, as I am inspired by anybody who is an entrepreneur who is doing their thing. So if anybody wants to hop over to Instagram, I believe, yeah, I'm going to go over to Instagram because I'm snackish. I'm going to go over to my Instagram page, Saycon Sengbloh, and I am going to make myself some plantain. I'm a little hungry. That was my talk on self-made. I feel like I'm self-made. I feel like a lot of us are self-made. Even if you had a little bit of help, even if you had a rich family, whatever you had, if you don't have the mindset to make it happen, boy, it's all about mindset. Because a lot of people come from rich families and they lay around and don't do anything at all. Everybody's not inspired to build something or make something. That's not everybody's place or goal in life. But if you are, I think you would enjoy this movie, Self-Made. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed every episode of it, and it was on Netflix. So, yeah. You guys have a good evening. I'm Saycon, and you're watching SayconTalks.